Hi guys, my name is Nonima Tigela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about Gwabini taking Baloyi into left, right, center, north, east, west. And Gwabini was sorry, Baloyi. Oh, Nkosi. I think he was like Lamazulu, Matsulu, Matsulu, Matsulu. He was like Lamazulu Lana, Lamazulu Lana. Didn't they say these people are not educated? Didn't they say these people are not educated? I think that's what Umaloyi was struggling. He was like, didn't they say Lamazulu are not educated? What the hell is wrong with these people? Why are they so intelligent? Why are they so intelligent? Oh my goodness. What a shocker. It was a shocker for Baloyi. And Baloyi still, it can't register to him. I know. He's going to go through all of this, through all these Zulu peoples that are going to come in that court and still maintain, okay, I can get this one. But still, banengqondo yemveli ngokwesixhosa andiyazi kuthiwa yintoni umuntu ozihlakaniphele ngokokuzala sidalo nje bahlakaniphile amazulu athile lamazulu aye enkantolo ke asikhulume ngawo ahlakaniphile. And also the Zungus that were in court, only one was a domkop, it's the constable. Laba bangasebenzeli ugovernment Nkosi yami bahlakaniphile sidalo bahlakaniphile sidalo bakhuluma into eqondile sidalo nje. And Ubaloyi akakwazi uyigci akakwazi, he can't fathom that, he can't take it. It shocks him ukuthi hayi man bebengathanga abantu basemakhaya naba, what is this? Anyway, so uGwabini was busy with that emsokolisa kugubi nje nonsense yento angayi-understand Ubaloyi because wow. And then Ubaloyi also did the inspection in loco, exposed a lot of police that were involved in the situation uGwabini was explaining in the courtroom. And we were like, bekiwe nini kwi-photo uthi aerial photos uthi aerial photos. I suppose they did it virtually because what is this? I don't know. Anyway, so Advocate Baloyi started a cross-examination after that shaky, started off in a shaky as a resistant. Gwabini leads him in all pillars of life, Kesana. But the real shock came during the time when Ubaloyi could not fathom what kind of a person Gwabini is, when he could not place Gwabini mental. You know that thing of trying to psychoanalyze someone and that person does not put you to where you wish you could be? That's what was happening to Ubaloyi because Gwabini, my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And it was revealed that Gwabini is quite a smart person, guys, through cross-examination. And he's resilient. He's a very intelligent young man. He's a very bold, fearless person, even though the situation is fearful. Yeah, he's a fearless person. He stands for truth. He stands for the grounds of doing right. He is not scared to stand up for his brothers, especially where they are being lied up on. That is what I could read from Gwabini. Now, let's get into everything else now. So Ubaloyi started with that. He could not overpower Gwabini. He could not even put his dominance over it. Bekunzima, everything began with hesitation from Gwabini. And from the onset, Gwabini was very resistant. He avoided at most times ukupendula direct answers to Ubaloyi when Ubaloyi is trying to trip him. When Ubaloyi was trying to tripping him into doing things as Ngoyo, Ubaloyi was forced to reframe questions. And more than once, Gwabini made sure, I will take you from pillar to post because what the hell are you doing? And he was telling him to his face, you are trying to trick me, and Diakbona into izamai, Diakbona. So that matters with all the witnesses. If they can be like this, Bambonu Baloyi for what he is, I don't see him succeeding with all of them. I don't see with all of them. Ubaloyi could not control Gwabini in any way, in any shape or form. He could not. And the cross-examination was not a conversation. It's a tool to extract contradictions. You can't negotiate, but Ubaloyi found himself negotiating with Ubaloyi. I mean, with Gwabini. I don't know if you guys picked all of that up. He found himself negotiating with uGwabini because he needed uGwabini to fall for his tricks, and uGwabini did not. He did not. Well, when he gave up on that, he moved to photos. Even that was a fruitless exercise, because kwezi pictures uveza I choose number 4, or I choose number 5, I choose number 1, I choose number 2, and I choose number 3. And there was a time where he stood on a picture of I choose number 3. He could not understand what does Gwabini mean that he doesn't know I choose number 3. Guys, we may all be coming from a Alice or a Tracy or a Mildred or a East London. Okay, let me say, we may all be coming from PE. You can't know someone who stays in Motherwell while you are from Ezwide. You can't know from Umtu who stays eMaxaki while you are from Ewoma. You can't, unless kunento enihlanganisayo. Otherwise, you won't know each other. You can all be from PE, but you don't, even in Gauteng, you can't know someone who's from Tembisa while you are in Soweto, unless kunento enihlanganisayo. Yo, Ubaloyi, I was like, what kind of questions are these? What does he mean? Ati number 3, eme no malume bakhe, abantu abaziyo even asawugqaba yena athakamazi. Doesn't make sense to Ubaloyi. And I was like, Gwabini, please ask him, do you know everybody where you come from the Tsonga land? Do you know everyone? Do you? Because what is this, Nasan? So it was hard for Ubaloyi in the cross-examination. Whether he admits it or not, it was so shaky, Chem. And that is where he was trying to do a reconstruction of the crime scene by putting those a photo-based inspection log situation, and it did not work. It did not work. Instead, that is where also the state's narrative quietly fractured, because during the visual inspection, it emerged that there was a man who saw heavy police presence at the crime scene. Not hours later, not days later, at the relevant crime, that there was someone who saw the crime scene that I'm referring to is the one where Gwabini was murdered. Is the one where Gwabini was murdered. Yet this witness was never built into the state's version of events. Zange, which raises a devastating legal question. If police were already present, who called them? Ne? So inzima nje into yokwenza cross-examination with someone who does not fear you, with someone who does not care what you think of them, but they will stand for the truth. That's what uGwabini did. And when uGwabini resisted again, even during that inspection in local or virtual, it reinforced something deeper. And that means he wasn't just evasive. He was protecting the version of events that Ubaloyi wishes they won't survive any daylight. He was protecting it because, no, I'm going to stand by my truth. You can't remove me from here. You can't do that. So while Baloyi started so slowly with everything that happened, but the one thing that it did, it exposed the courtroom and everything that we can't ignore, that uGwabini was not lying. uGwabini was not lying, and a lot of things that he said, the police cannot explain them. And that door was opened by Baloyi. The entire chronology of the Senzo Meyiwa investigation came under fresh suspicion because of Baloyi. And sadly, he does not even understand what he did there. He doesn't. Yo, yabona uSenzo? Hayi sana na. Hayi. Anyway, what are your thoughts when it comes to that? Because I was like, wow, siyenzani ngama-pictures ko-aerial photos esingakhange siye kubo. Why sana kwaba inspection in loco for uGwabini? Because now he's touching on all those angles, the inspection in loco, when it came to what you call okay, let's say uGwabini was Ubaloyi created a new inspection of photo in loco because wow, Sanalam, I don't know what was that. I don't know what that's that. What did you think about uGwabini in that situation? Him refusing ukuthi uyamazi accused number 3, and Baloyi trying to force him to say uyamazi accused number 3, and him standing his ground. What were your thoughts when it comes to that? Let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.